Hi, welcome to Bar Cart Bookshelf, a video series about books and the drinks that inspire. My name is Elias, and today we're talking about Hybrid Heart by Iori Kusano. You know, we're doing novellas all April long here on Bar Cart Bookshelf, and of course, our novella coverage would not be complete without featuring a title from Neon Hemlock, our favorite small press. Today's book, Hybrid Heart, is part of their 2023 novella series that ran on Kickstarter in March and is available now. There are going to be another 5 novellas in this series, including The Killing Grounds, which is also already released, and 4 more throughout the year. So keep eyes peeled for more of those that hopefully we'll get to cover here on Bar Cart Bookshelf. Hybrid Heart is a near-future sci-fi sort of domestic professional thriller. It's the story of Rei, a J-pop idol, this Japanese pop star whose every waking and sleeping moment is really heavily controlled through not only intense scheduling, but also through like bio apps and sensors all through her apartment. It's a deeply paranoid novella, a strong sense of being watched at all times, not only by the audience, by the fans, but also by management and the sort of team behind the pop star as a product, as sort of something that goes beyond music and performance, but into lifestyle and sort of a gestalt of being. And so we find Rei in this very controlling, very controlled environment, and this sense of strain that she has against that. It's been several years that she's been working in this industry, and where we pick up the story, she has lost the sort of double act that she's been a part of with her friend Ririko, friend and colleague, and so is now performing as a solo act, and is starting to grate more and more at the strictures that have been placed on her, the ways in which every aspect of her life is controlled. It's really an interesting exploration of a real type of culture that does exist around management of pop stars, but taken to this sort of near future, something plausible within the next decade or two, hyper aware and hyper observant extreme with this science fictional element to it as well. At this same time, she's worried about being replaced by these digital idols, these sort of animated 3D models that can have different voices behind them that don't have the same limitations of a physical body. A digital model is going to look the same, in 30 years. A human body, no matter what you do to it, no matter how controlled you are with your exercise, with your diet, with your choreography, is going to change. And that's sort of an aspect of her industry that's haunting her and troubling her. It was a really short, sharp read, one that was, infused with a sense of place and a sense of world in a way that we really like to see from a novella, and one that I think ended, for me, in a satisfying and hopeful way. And I hope that other readers feel the same. And so with that in mind, we had to have a cocktail inspired by the drink. Without any further ado, why don't we turn to this week's drink? This is the solo act inspired by Hybrid Heart by Iori Kusano. we're going to start with our base spirit. We're using vodka today, a clear neutral spirit. We're going to get 1.5 ounces of that. This is something that sort of comes up over the course of the novel, or novella, excuse me, and so it's nice when we have our base spirit given to us by the author. So we've got 1.5 ounces of vodka in there, and then, because of course vodka is very neutral, very low in flavor, we've got to get our modifiers in there. To start off, I'm going to get 1 ounce of cherry blossom syrup from Pratt Standard Syrups. The reason why I have chosen this is it's a really sort of in that grenadine family of fruit syrups, but sharp and bright and a little bit floral. They're using not just water, but green tea as part of their blend in making that. And it's based in the greater Washington, D.C. area, home of Neon Hemlock, our publisher. So it's always nice to share those bits of community. If you aren't looking to spring for a bottle of cherry blossom syrup, but have already made the black cherry grenadine that we've used in the past here on Bar Cart Bookshelf, certainly you can make that exchange, and I'll have a link both to purchase the syrup and to find the recipe for the black cherry grenadine, which is going to be a little bit richer and darker and heavier in the description below. Next, to modify, we're going to get 1/2 ounce of Italicus Bergamot liqueur. The Ray's manager wears a sort of bergamot cologne perfume, and so having this sort of bittersweet liqueur there that will infuse all the rest of the drink as a reminder of his presence is a nice sort of way to remember that he's really always there. The Italicus is a lot more pleasant, though, I find. We're going to get our 1/2 ounce of that in there. Then finally, to brighten things up, we're going to get 1 ounce of lemon juice. At one point in the novella, Ray has a lemon ice, and this is like a real comfort food for her. And so getting the brightness of the lemon really helps to bring her closer, I think, to the world of the story and the world of the drink. Now we're going to get our ice in there. As always, we're adding our ice last because that's what cooks your cocktail. It's immediately going to start diluting, immediately going to start changing up our flavors, and so we really want to get that in last in case something distracts us when we're not on camera. Not wanting to quite seal today. Alright, now we've got our cocktail nice and cold and frosty, diluted, shaken up, waken up. And we're going to pour that, strain that into our highball glass. Lovely. Set that aside. And then, as you can see, we've got this really nice pale pink pastel kind of drink that's gonna match these sort of pale pink pastel controlled soft kinds of vibes that Ray and her management team are cultivating, but with the sharpness of that lemon, of that bittersweet liqueur, of the alcohol there in the vodka. And of course we've got some more space here, so we are going to top that with some seltzer. Beautiful. Ooh. Let that go. Perfect. And so there you have it. This is the solo act inspired by Hybrid Heart by Iori Kusano. Hybrid Heart is available now. I've got a link to snag the book in the description below. It is a really short, sharp read, one that I found really engrossing, and one that I hope you will like as well. Got a link to the Boston Shaker where we get all of our tools and ingredients, things like the jigger, the highball glass, the Hawthorne strainer, that sort of thing. to Twitter and Instagram, where there are various forms of, and other various forms of social media, where there's always a written version of today's recipe. Please try the drink. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Hit that like button. It makes me so happy. Subscribe if you haven't already, and get your friends to subscribe if they haven't already. It really helps us find new audiences when you share with your community. So, until next time, cheers.